We're talking about socialism.
Ooh. Versus what?
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
All right. Yo, welcome back to the Man Cave. We about to talk about some controversial shit. I feel like I always say that shit. It's not very.
It's not controversial.
You're always talking something controversial shit.
We always talk.
You gotta spice it up.
It's not controversial. We just have some opinions about socialism, and because people are talking about maybe the world might be better if we were like all socialists and like lovey-dovey and shit. And I could see that argument. But first, I got two major capitalists here that probably want to state their point. So go ahead.
All right, so I guess we should begin with, first of all, what does socialism and what does capitalism mean to each and one of you? So to me, capitalism means if I have a product, I sell it to you for a profit. That's literally all capitalism means to me. If I have a company that I built from the ground up and I have a product, I have a service, I give you something for something in return. And that return tends to be capital. Capitalism, all it means to me is just money exchange. That's all it means to me.
So for me, capitalism is many things. So you have the aspect where same aspect you said, where you sell a product, you make a product, but you private everything that you do. So if you lose, if you run out of it, if your business fails, you fail, point blank. It's the way it works. And for me, real capitalism, there's no too big to fail. It's free markets. No, I'm a real estate investor, so I can go mostly on that type of the business. Like no rent control. Let the market decide what the rent should be. Let the market decide, not government saying, the rent's gonna be this and that. It doesn't work that way. That's why there's free markets. And there has to be some regulations.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? Of actually, what does capitalism mean to you?
So for me, I feel like I agree with both of y'all. What both of y'all are saying, like if I make money, that money should come to me. That's my money. I should do whatever the fuck I want with my money. It's my money. Like I earned it. No one else earned it. Like it was all me. So I believe, like I get what you're saying about capitalism. So go ahead.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Actually, let me quit out of this real quick. All right. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of capitalism. And this is one of the videos that Ben Shapiro has on YouTube, which I think is a great explanation of what capitalism is. So a lot of socialists have the argument where they're basically saying that, if I put in the work, if I put in the hard labor, it's not fair for my CEO to make more money for selling the product upon what the product costs to make, right? So the whole argument is if you sell 100 pencils, right, for $7, but then you actually end up making way more than the $7 of the original cost of the pencil, how come they can't get a part of that if they put in the hard work to get you there? And I say this, as a capitalist, you're the one that starts the business. You're the one that's responsible for filing the LLCs. You're the one that's responsible for filing the taxes. You're the one that's responsible for getting the employees, getting the insurance, getting the building, the leases in place, the marketing, everything, right? That also comes with failure. If the company fails, the employee, all they do is lose their job. That's it, nothing else. The CEO and the founder of the company, not only do they lose the company, now they're responsible for the bankruptcy debt behind the company.
All the risk. So to me, capitalism is you get what you put in. If you don't put in that amount of work, then you're not going to get that amount of return. If you're not going to invest into the business, then you shouldn't gain anything from the business. You should only get paid what you're there to do. So as a capitalist, right, or whatever you want to call it, if I have a job and if I have a company and I give you a job, I am giving you capital, meaning money, for you to perform a job. Nothing. That's it. Nothing else. It's literally that simple. Nothing else. All right, Baez, what do you think?
I agree. The issue with socialism that I'm seeing, when you have a capitalist market and you have people that can start a business, it creates innovation. For example, all our shit that we have here that China copies us because they can't innovate down there. They try, but a lot of stuff that they innovate with is stuff that was created here or based off something that was created in the United States. Because anyone can rise, and any business can tumble other businesses. Like right now with the internet, it makes capitalism even better because you have companies like Netflix bringing down other companies. You have fucking Facebook taking down MySpace. So it's almost an equal playing field. But like I said, it has to be open, free market. You can't try to control the markets because every time you try to control the market, that's when shit fails.
Yeah, so that's a monopoly. You obviously want to have a monopoly.
Yeah, but there has to be some regulations because you don't want a 2008.
All right, so I dig the argument. You know, if you put in a lot of risky investments and you're trying to make a high profit, that's cool. I don't think anybody's arguing against that. It's around this like it's because of there's so many people, not even so many people. There's one person, right, that has $170 billion, right? $170 billion.
Let me guess, Amazon.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, technically, he doesn't have 170 billion. He's worth 100. So he has a lot of assets that are worth 170 billion. So I feel like people, when they say, "Oh, he got 170 billion dollars," he should share the wealth. Well, that's not really how it works because he doesn't really have all that money. He probably has like a fraction of that in actual liquid. But anyway, I feel like our society benefits a lot from a lot of social aspects of socialism, right? You know, what's it called? Unemployment and social security,
Social security bank.
Wait. But like, we all pay for police departments, fire departments, stuff like that. And I think it benefits, even if you never had to call the police ever in your life, you're still paying for that through your taxes.
Yep.
So there's that aspect. I think we do benefit from some things of socialism. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with so few people owning a huge amount of wealth. I'm not against being a billionaire. I just feel like, well, maybe there should be like some sort of cap. Maybe if you hit.
Bro.
Wait, let me say it. Maybe if you hit like 50 billion, you could just get a certificate that says, "Yo, you won at life." Like, just quit your job and let another nigga, be the CEO. That's all I'm saying. Let somebody else take your place. You made 50 billion, and there you go.
So
I mean, so this thing, I don't think you're against somebody being worth that much. I think you're against the power that comes with somebody worth that much. Two very different arguments, right? Because that could be worth $50 billion. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything evil with it, right? What if I'm worth 50 billion or I surpass 50 billion and all I want to do is help the world? Are you going to be against that?
No.
Exactly. So I think people have a problem when somebody's worth so much because it gives them the ability and it gives them the power to do things that they may not like. That's the issue.
No, I
think also it's the whole tax code. The whole tax code is all messed up, bro. There's a lot of loopholes, and the tax code is meant mostly it's beneficial for business. If you fall in the E category, you're gonna pay all the taxes.
Carlos, explain what the E category is for the audience out there.
It's the employee category, the W-2 people.
Correct.
If you're in the S category, which is the businesses, and then you have the I, which is investors. Investors don't own, they invest into business and they get dividends or things to that nature. Big business is where the money's at.
Which is what? Corporations.
So I think the issue is everyone has this whole W-2 mentality. Like I seen this meme saying, this guy saying, "Hey, I got a job," and everyone's celebrating it. But then another guy says, "Hey, I'm opening a business," and everyone's is all quiet.
No likes.
I just think one of the problems that people have with capitalism is the disparity between the rich and the poor. The rich are getting much more richer, and the poor are just getting poorer. And then the middle class is basically disintegrating. They're either
paying for everything.
Yeah, they're either disintegrating into the poor, or they're making it into the rich. But I think what needs to be done is to have and which it is in place right now. What happens is poor people don't pay a lot of tax, so it helps them get closer to the middle class, while rich people have higher taxes and also pulls them back into the middle class. That's why the rich actually do pay more in taxes and the poor don't pay as much, because economically they're trying to pull everyone into the middle class, because the middle class is where our growth really is. A strong country and a strong economy has a very, very strong middle class. So, and the Federal Reserve designed it in a way so that way both ends are being drawn towards the middle.
Yep. Now,
because they're a private bank.
Now, there's one thing with that though, right? So you have to think, why do the richer tend to get richer, right? So, for example, why is Jeff Bezos so rich? Why? Because everybody and their mother is using his service. He shouldn't be capitalized for producing a service that everybody uses, and they know it makes their life 1,000% better. In some way or form, Amazon has changed lives. Right? Yeah. So for him doing that, he shouldn't be capped on that. Now, another thing, the reason why the poorer tends to get poorer, unfortunately, tends to be in some way or form education. Because if you have somebody receiving a stimulus check, and I think we covered that in previous videos, which I will link that video up above, so make sure you check that out, is that when they receive a stimulus check, they tend to spend the money instead of investing the money. So lack of education goes a long way when it comes to staying poor.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it. Like, education is key. I think if people were more educated on finances, they would be able to at least step into middle class. It's easier to get into middle class from the poor than it is from middle class to get into the upper class. That's how I feel. But once you have a large sum of money, you can make more and more of it, and it's hard.
It also takes a lot of self-discipline on how you use your money. This is the issue. If you notice, though, you can tell this by the way a person dress, or what kind of car they have, and things of that nature. When you see like a really rich person, like I have a mentor, he probably is making $600K a year, and if you see him, the dude is like with some jeans and a t-shirt. But there are no friends of mine that barely make $20 an hour and they're wearing all Gucci.
Yeah, that's a cultural thing. That's not really. I know what you're saying, but it's really cultural. Because if you ever go to Japan, I used to work at Boston University, and all the rich kids who are from Asia or Japan or whatever, swagged the fuck out.
I've seen that.
Swagged out. We're talking renting Lamborghinis.
I understand it might be culture, but
when I went to Northeastern, I saw gold cars, bro. Gold cars.
I'm not giving over because they probably have rich parents that pay for everything. But what I'm trying to say is, if you want to make it to the upper class, start a business and save your money. Don't throw away your money on shit, bro.
Or invest it. Save it or invest it.
Read the books that will show you what money is.
Link down below.
What shows you like Rich Dad Poor Dad will show you the difference between an asset and a liability.
Yeah.
Whatever takes money out of your pocket is a liability.
I just feel like there should be a cap. Like for me, like 50 billion, bro. Like if you have assets worth 50 billion, if you make it to 50 billion, I think you can just you can just bow out and be like, look, I'm just gonna hand it off to the next guy. And now we're slowly spreading wealth. And then on top of that, I feel like there should be a percentage between, how if the manager gets paid this much there should be a percentage in between that, between his subordinate, and it should be up like all the way up.
I agree with you on that.
I agree with you on that. Now, the previous point you made regarding the cap, the reason why I don't agree with the cap, besides the fact that he should earn whatever people are willing to pay for, is the fact that if he has a cap, right? Let's just say he's so innovative. He's so innovative, taking lives across the world. His cap, what's his motivation after that?
What's his incentive? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there is none. So let's just say he hangs it out to the next person, and that person does a complete shit show when it comes to running the company. He runs the company into the fucking ground. So this is why I don't think we could have a cap. A cap wouldn't make sense. Like, why would you work for something if you know it's not worth anything more?
I think, for example, like a CEO, but I'm not talking about the owner, I'm like the CEO level. If they had a percentage-wise, like look at the CEO of Costco, the dude only makes like $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
And his employees make like $18 an hour, the lowest paid employee.
Of Costco? Costco CEO makes $200,000 a year?
Yeah, like 250, I think is the last report thing.
Oh, that's not bad.
Big company. Is I think the lowest paid employee, I think it was like 17 or $18 an hour.
Yeah, but I do agree with the point though. There should be some type of percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have a good year. If the company has such a good year,
yes,
you know, let the whole company enjoy some of that. Don't just give a huge bonus to the CEO. I mean, I understand he led the team, but you know, like, give everybody a bonus.
Correct.
Like, is that not cool? Like,
no, I agree 100% with that. Now, I do believe that we could have socialism within capitalism. I think that's the way that I would
already do.
Exactly, and I think that's the way that we should keep it. To be honest with you, I don't think having a company, having a country that's full socialist is going to actually work.
Karl Marx wrote a book, a socialist book about the whole ideology of socialism. That's what all these socialist people love, is this book, even here in the U.S. Vladimir Lenin was this guy in Russia, the Russian socialist. He's the one who started the whole Soviet Union. When they had the collapse of their king and shit, or the czar, Vladimir Lenin came in. He was socialist and became a dictator. All these people come with that. No, we should be socialist, but every time there's a socialist gets the power happens, it becomes communist and a dictator, and all socialism just goes away.
Well, I mean, the problem is with that is that the government.
It's human nature.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, people are greedy.
But listen, the problem with that is that the government, whatever government wants to help you or wants to, I guess, depend on them, that's the ultimate goal. This is why it's so bad for people to depend on the government, because the more you depend on the government, the more control they have over you. So this is why I really believe in free markets. Free markets, 100%. The less government gets involved, the better it is. Now, I do agree with what you said earlier about having regulation. That is the one thing I agree with.
Like, I feel like the gap is just gonna widen so much that eventually you're gonna have humans living in space, fucking just living their best life, like super rich, and then you're gonna have people on Earth just fucking dead broke, like just like making pencils and shit for these people in space and shit. So and then there's not gonna be a middle class. There's not the middle class. I think
that has more to do with tax regulation than anything else.
Yeah. So I don't believe that by you having more money, it should give you more power. I don't believe that at all. And I think that's a big thing, is that, you know, the more money you have, unfortunately, the more power you have. And that's that you're able to, you know, take responsibility.
I think there should be a minimum tax. This is the issue. When you're in a business, you own a business, you're running a business, you get all the write-offs in the world. Fuck, you pay.
Hey, that is fine, bro. I don't know where you're going with this, but cut it out.
Let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
Socialist, real quick.
Let me finish, because I'm capitalist. But I also have to recognize that the people in the middle class is what pays all the taxes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good.
And then the percentage of people that leave the middle class to go to the upper class.
Okay, so what type of taxes? So what type of taxes are you actually willing to cut for yourself? If that's
not cut. I'm talking about like have a base, like everyone pays 15% across the board.
Well, no, I don't agree with that either, because then there's no incentive in becoming a business. you're taking away what actually makes a business.
Well, that's not true. Because
that's not true. Because you make
true.
$10 billion, 15% shit.
Well, okay, I'm talking about for us. Like for us right now, the reason why some of us don't pay that much in taxes is because we are able to write things off as expenses, as capital expenditure for whatever asset we have. Those things we
I
can't.
understand that. But like I said, the rich, even though they don't have to, I mean, the guy Jeff Bezos, this dude, fucking, if he loses $100,000, is fucking, he won't even flinch.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. I believe certain companies over a certain amount of employees may have a different type of, I guess, rule where they have to pay more taxes. And I don't think they should be able to evade every single tax. I don't think that. What I don't
But
think,
they do.
No,
They do.
I don't think it's fair, and I do, and this is the thing that I agree with socialists. I don't think it's fair for a huge company like that to have their headquarters somewhere outside of the U.S. where they're not able to pay taxes. If you're doing business here in the U.S., your business should be here in the U.S. and you pay U.S. taxes. That is what I agree with.
That's what Trump trying to do.
Let's look.
And
people there know.
Bringing everything back here to get rid of that fucking big ass gap.
Taxes is super important. Let's take a look at DR, right? I asked my girl, I was like, yo, do you pay taxes in DR? Like, I don't like.
No, they don't pay property tax.
That's why that shit looks like fucking trash. I'm
No,
sorry,
but
my Dominican people.
wait, let me finish.
Yo,
It might be crap. I have to give. The issue is also it's not about the property tax. This is the issue with DR. It's politics. There's the corruption. Because if you do property tax up there, it's still gonna get stolen by the politicians, so it doesn't matter.
It's higher than just the rules, bro.
It's not the rules, bro. It's the people.
Over there, they have streetlights for decoration. That shit makes no difference. That shit's just there for decoy money.
I'm telling you, bro. You can do all the taxes you have here, and it's just gonna show up in somebody else's pockets.
I just think there's like if you go to a really nice neighborhood, they pay higher taxes.
Yes.
Right? And you can tell that because the streets are clean. Those taxes are paying for the street cleaners, for the pavers who do the whole streets, all the shebang. And that's all socialism.
Yeah.
That's all socialism.
Yeah, but this is the thing. So I do agree with paying taxes where you're bound to pay taxes. But as a business owner, right? So let's just say that you own a 20-unit building, right? Me as the owner, I'm gonna try to pay as less taxes as possible. Why? Because I'm actually investing into my business. I'm providing housing. I'm doing renovations. I'm buying materials. I'm hiring contractors, which means I'm hiring employees. I'm actually providing for the community. And mind you, I'm also paying commercial property taxes. So if there's a way to minimize the expenses after I spend all that, I'm gonna use it.
I think. Now this is gonna be crazy. I think if you make an annual income of over $1 billion, you should.
$1 billion is a lot of money.
Billion. You should.
That's a lot of money.
You should. Let me finish. You should pay 75% in taxes.
Whoa! Hell no! You are wilding, bro.
You can't live on $250. You can't live on $250, bro. You can't live on $250.
You can't live on $250.
I'm not saying
wait. It shouldn't be taxes. It should be something like I'm gonna do 50% of my income in charity, not taxes. And it shouldn't be one of those bootleg charities either that you open up and say, "Hey, this is for charity," and put the money in your pocket. Nah, that shit that the rich people are doing.
All right. So it's a double-edged sword because a charity, you can a donation, you can write it off. Is that illegal? Is that
but you know what? Charity, but wait, let me explain to you about charity. There's loopholes in charity too.
I know there is.
I have a painting here that cost me $10, and I'm gonna donate to my charity saying it costs $1 million.
You see, that's the problem with our country. We got loopholes for our loopholes.
See what I mean? Saying, it should be real charity. You donate 75% of your charity. I don't want to give all that shit to the government. The government mismanages it. Social Security is bankrupt.
So this is what I think, right? To Jose's point, instead of paying, because I can't get around you paying 75% to taxes. That's
$1 billion.
No, but hold on. Let me make my point. I think instead of paying that in taxes, I think the other option should be, all right, instead of you paying 75% in taxes, why don't you pay 75% or 50%? Let's keep it, even 50% of your profits. You reinvest it back into your employees and then back into your company instead of just
Not
paying
the company, employees.
Employees, there you go. Instead of paying taxes for the government, that you can't even
Give them a bonus.
tell the government where to even put that money, man.
Give them a bonus.
Yeah. So that's a better option for me. If I was to make over $1 billion, I would reinvest 50% of my income or whatever I make back into my employees.
I think it should. We should, as a goal, get more people into middle class. I feel like it's just crazy. Like people should be making 100K as like a regular thing. That shouldn't even be like a goal, 100K a year. That shouldn't even be like, oh my God, I'm making 100K. That should just be like almost a standard. That just be like, oh yeah, like you should be making that much.
But I mean,
you're always gonna have poor people.
I mean, honestly, you have to have poor people to have rich people. Otherwise, you can't have either.
That's not even true, though.
But it is.
No, it is.
That's not even true.
You're gonna be a garbage man. All right.
Imagine the garbage man who makes 100K a year. He'll be happy, and he's just doing it. Yo, give me 100K to clean toilet. I would do that shit.
For a trash guy, which is nothing wrong with doing that, by the way.
I'm not hating on though. I'm just saying they make $18 an hour.
Hold on, but hold on. Let's just say he's making 100K a year. What should a CEO of Costco make? Let's just say, because the garbage man is making 100K a year.
Well, the CEO should make a percentage higher than his subordinate, who makes a percentage higher than his subordinate, and it all depends on the lowest person. I don't know if there's a garbage man at Amazon. Maybe there is.
I think you know why there's a billionaire class.
You have a richer garbage man than anything else.
You know why?
That's what I'm saying. If the garbage man was the poorest type of person, he's making 100K. Imagine how the life balance and happiness would be in the country if the lowest paying job was 100K.
No, I agree with you.
No, I agree. But there's the issue.
It also depends on the type of work, man.
There's the issue too. This is a much bigger topic. Is like, think about this, bro. Money right now, the economy system in the U.S. is the fiat money system.
Yeah.
So back in the day, before 1914, before the Federal Reserve Act, money was based off silver.
Yeah, but we got to take out a long time.
No, wait, but let me explain. You can't just print out money.
But we do
when it's based off a metal.
Oh no, we
don't. You have to find more metal.
Yeah, but we're way over, the gold standard. We're no longer tied to the gold at all. So now
you can't.
Which is
you go back to the gold standard, we're bankrupt.
Correct.
But that's the problem.
Now
that's why you have this billionaire class.
So this
is a printed money machine.
This is what I agree with Jose on. I don't think anybody should struggle. If that makes it easier. I don't think anybody should struggle. But as far as having somebody make 100K as a standard, I mean, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's gonna do anything, to be honest.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna do anything?
No, but let me tell you what's gonna happen is the prices of everything's gonna go up.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there should be a limit to how much things go up proportionate to.
Well, you got to think about this, Jose. If you're paying $100,000, right? If you're paying $100,000 to do the flip burgers at McDonald's,
yeah,
right, and you have 10 employees at McDonald's making $100,000 each.
Yep.
How much you have to sell?
Hamburgers are going to have to go up.
Correct. This is not
be able to pay these employees $100,000 each.
Correct. It's not just pay them more. You have to
I also think certain types of jobs should be held by certain types of people for a certain amount of time. Like, let me explain. Like McDonald's, right? I think you.
Colin's looking at that.
No. I'm trying to get comfortable.
I think only people below 21 and above 16 should be working at McDonald's, and maybe those people maybe not $100,000. But maybe like 50K, because you got to remember, these people are also going to college or trying to start somewhere.
How about the ones who are not going to college? They're not trying to do anything. Or how about the lazy people? There are lazy people in the world.
They got 6 years to do something before they get kicked out of that job.
But you also can't dictate. What if somebody actually likes and enjoys doing that?
Enjoys doing what? Flipping burgers?
Yes. Why is that a bad thing?
Then fucking start a restaurant.
What?
If I own a franchise, I'll probably work.
Not everybody's fit to be a business owner. I'll tell you that right now. Not everybody's fit to be a business owner.
Yeah, bro. I had a conversation with my mom. She's not fit to be a business owner.
No, it is not easy. Trust me. When it's time for tax season, this guy
not even tax season. Not even tax season.
The stuff that we went through with taxes, man.
It's not even tax season, bro. When it comes to the point where you have to deal with people.
Yeah, it's not easy, bro. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. It can be, but it's not. And somebody, you telling somebody that you have a limited amount of time in this job. I mean, I think it's cool because it forces them to progress, but not everybody has a progressive mindset, unfortunately.
I just think there should just be more of a claw to claw people out of billionaire status. I feel like once you hit the billionaire status, you like float. It's like almost impossible. Like there's no way Jeff Bezos can exit the billionaire club. Like unless he has a crazy divorce.
He already had one.
He did.
He's richer now than when he had the divorce.
Exactly.
But you know why? You know why? Unfortunately, it's because like myself and you and everybody else, we go on the computer and we press a little button to get stuff shipped to our house within 2 days.
Yeah, I remember Carlos. I used to like this was like 5 years ago. I'm like, yo, Carlos, I'm at Best Buy. He's like, what the hell you do at Best Buy? The only time I go there, I used to look at it and I order it from Amazon.
Yeah, if you want to make it, you have to help people get what they want, and that's exactly what he did.
But I also feel like there should be another tax bracket. Like I feel like there's a tax bracket after 200. Is there? No, it's 200K and up, right?
200K, yeah.
Yeah, that's so obsolete. Like there should be a tax bracket for $1 million. There should be a tax bracket for $1 billion. Why does it stop at 200K? That just doesn't make sense to me.
I agree with that.
It stopped at 200K. Like there should be increased tax bracket.
Jose, you can do all these brackets. There's still a loophole. Because it's lobbying, baby. They can lobby for a loophole.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a point. I mean, you can have all the brackets you want, but if you're gonna have the taxes in there with the loopholes, it's the same thing.
I feel naturally
lobbying. First thing that has to happen, education has to get better.
As our society continues, we're either gonna completely accept socialism in a couple 100,000 years. Not 100,000 years, a couple 100 years, we'll probably be very socialistic. Or you're just going to see extremely poor people where they live on the other side of the country and extremely rich people who live on the other side of the country.
Which is why we keep jobs here, nowhere else. Job needs to stay. I'm dead serious. Wait. When jobs stay here, manufacturers go back into play. Who gets the jobs there? Lower and middle class. That's what brings the middle class up. It's by having jobs stay here. If you have manufacturing taking place in China, who is that helping?
But I think the issue of manufacturing, Carlos, the issue of manufacturing right now, even in manufacturing, there's a lot of automation.
Well, so that's a different thing, and that's a different topic. So I think any company that has automation should be taxed higher because they're not actually employing any type of physical person there.
Well, what if they have just one computer automated? Does that make them an automated company?
Yeah, no, it does. If they have one computer that's doing most of their businesses, yes, that's automation. That's automation.
They could have 100,000 employees.
Yep.
And they just got one computer doing automated stuff. That puts them into the automated category. I don't think so. I think.
No. So
you have to have automation.
It depends what type of sales or revenue or business is being done from that particular machine. Like if most of your revenue is coming from an automation, yeah, 100%. I think you should definitely be taxed higher.
This is the issue here, and I'm gonna say this here. Our education sucks. Let's be real. Yeah. They don't show you shit about what money is in school. They only show you how to be an employee, how to work a job. That's the only thing they show you. They don't show you how to manage money or what money is or etc. And then the issue is, bro, lobbying is legal. Until lobbying is against the law, you're gonna see this shit happen. Like, bro, we're not. How are you telling me that we're the most innovative country in the world, but we're not pushing for solar panels? We're not pushing for all these initiatives to start business in the high tech area. Like, I think China's producing more solar panels than us. We should be building that shit here.
Well, solar panels, they're not at the state where they're like extremely beneficial. I think as the technology.
Okay, I had in my Florida house. My bill was $200. That shit went down to $40 a month.
Yeah,
So-
they're definitely beneficial.
They're beneficial.
Yeah, but I mean,
There's the money in that. You know, the money is in petroleum, which is
you need.
Why the money is petroleum? You know why?
The thing is real estate. You need real estate for solar panels. Solar panels require a lot of space, and a lot of these capitalist ventures took advantage of that. It was like, well, if we need space, we'll just tell people that we're going to put solar panels on their house for free, and they get a little bit of the energy and they save money, but we get a majority of that energy and we sell it back to other people.
yeah.
So that's going back into capitalism. So yeah, I don't.
But
capitalism is the way to go.
You could say that, but guess what? By them doing that, even if they are getting more money per se, guess what? People are actually saving money anyways. That's what happens. If you want to be a capitalist, you're gonna help somebody, and in return, you're gonna get money off of it, or you're gonna get.
Okay, for example, Carlos, whoever invented the planks, the laminate and vinyl planks,
It's a fucking genius.
bro. Come on.
It's a fucking the plank of the floors that snap in like this. It's a fucking genius, bro. You know, it's a very good idea.
Your house, most likely, did you have a brand new build, Jose?
Yeah.
Your house has planks.
You have planks in your house, right? And somebody invests in a very, very good idea that takes minimal effort to do, right?
It's cheap.
We use it and we buy them by the tons, and it's cheap. Why
It's
can't we
cheap.
get rich off of that? You know what I mean?
We should make profit.
Hold on.
Bro.
My girl's calling me. Hold on.
I think this is a good episode so far.
Yeah.
I know it's not
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, you should profit, but you shouldn't like after a zone of profit. You should be like, okay, we're gonna gas you down a little bit because you're making too much money. You need to share that shit. Either you pay your employees a little bit more,
Yes.
or you're paying more taxes.
I agree with
How
that.
about pharma,
You can't be
Jose?
walking away with $100 trillion, my nigga.
Jose, how about pharma?
I agree with that.
Pharma. I work for a pharmaceutical company, and I think it's the greatest. I cannot say about them.
I
They
think
do pay the high.
drugs.
They do pay the high.
Drugs. I must say, I think drugs should have like a 10-year copyright limit. After 10 years, that shit goes public.
Well, tell that to fucking Disney because
Yeah, Disney too. Disney's are assholes. They started stealing. They're stealing things for other people creating, saying that copyright is theirs.
Disney.
Get the hell outta here.
I feel like Disney started this precedent because before cartoons, like there was I guess like 50-year copyright, and then it goes public.
It goes public.
Yeah, but then Disney was like, "Oh shit, we're about to lose Mickey Mouse.
Mickey.
If we don't do something about that, we're gonna lose them to the public." So they changed. They
Lobbied.
for a law to change, and now you can't touch any property for any like forever. It used to be, Pinocchio went public after 50 years. Then everybody was able. That's why you got so many studios that can touch Pinocchio, that can touch Snow White, because those are public properties. Everybody thinks that Disney owns that shit. They don't own that shit. Anybody can touch those sort of properties.
You know what, man? In the edit, put Pinocchio here.
You can't touch Mickey Mouse. You can never touch it. You will never be able to touch Mickey Mouse. Even though the guy who created Mickey Mouse is dead. I feel like that should go away. Once you die, your shit should go public.
And I think medicine should go public after 10 years.
Why?
Like that guy who, you seen that guy who invented the EpiPen? That shit was like fucking like $20 and he brought the bill up to 500. Get the fuck out of here. It's not fair. It's greed. It's greed.
Capitalism creates greed also. Like
It
It does. That's why it's regulation.
Yes, that's why regulation is needed.
All right, so I mean, it's all regulation. I feel like socialism will eventually catch on. I don't know in what form or fashion. We already have socialism aspects in our communities. You know, somebody paves those highways. You know, someone collects that trash. So that's all socialism right there. But if we don't fix this stuff with the middle class, this disparity, that shit's not even gonna exist. So I mean, let us know what y'all think about this. Should we incorporate more socialism into our society, or should just people have free reign to be quadrillionaires, and next thing you know, they're living in space while everybody else like trying to suck empty Capri bottle here back on Earth? I don't know.
You see, now he's making it dramatic.
Now he's making it super dramatic.
I don't know.
Jose,
Let us know.
Global healthcare.
Global healthcare.
That's a different topic, man.
You know what? All the billionaires should pay for global healthcare. That would be legit.
I'm with global healthcare.
Yeah, I don't think we should be letting people die from cancer if they can't afford the treatment. That's bullshit.
I agree, 100%.
But yo, let us know what you think.
This is why we could have socialism within capitalism.
You see?
Yeah,
but we have to make sure that capitalism is
check
at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We gotta make sure we find ways to drag those people back into the middle class. You can't let them fly. It gotta be so difficult to stay up there. That's what I'm trying to say. It has to be. We gotta make it a way to make it so difficult to stay up there. Because right now it's like I can go.
Jose's the type of guy that sees a dude with a Lamborghini and says, "Fuck that dude." Right?
Don't say that.
Like I'm the type of guy. I see the same Lamborghini, and I'm like, "Yo, how did he get that? I want to do it."
No, I see.
That's how you gotta think, bro.
Jose's like, no more Bugatti for you and you.
Everything free.
Nah, man, that's not. If I see a Lamborghini, I'd be like, "Yo, that nigga's doing stuff." Yeah, but if I see a nigga who owns $170 billion, it's like, come on, guy.
But that's net worth. You said it earlier. That's net worth.
Net worth.
Yes, I get it.
Very different.
Well, that's today's discussion. Please like and subscribe. We're digging it. We're growing. We're trying to do what we can. Send us some topics if you have any. We're gonna keep the rotation going. We lost a man today, but you know what? He wasn't missed. No, I'm joking.
We gotta keep it going.
The show must go on. All right.
Yeah.
Last episode is only 2 people.
Yeah.
We're half the team. It's 3.
We're working that way up.
One person. But guess what? Episodes every single week.
It doesn't matter what day of the week. We'll push it out because we be like that.
Yeah. You know what? Whenever the fuck you want.
All right. Peace out.
We out.